like everything was great. I didn't get any drops or anything like that. I don't know what
Well, that was all in
the
my
issues
end.
were. Yeah.
Whatever that was, because like I was on Twitch and my Twitch died too.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't you. Like the whole page like refused to load. But I'm good now.
Yeah. And we are
For now.
live. So welcome to the Vomitorium Weekday show for the 15th of June, 2021. As always, I'm your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. How you doing today?
Great. I was very unproductive today.
Oh, yeah. I have been, but
Too busy watching Nintendo.
I'm up all night, so
Yeah.
I'll be productive later on.
Yeah. I was watching Nintendo Treehouse all day. It was crazy.
Yeah, there were two
Well, in my opinion,
big events that happened today, but really there was only one, because as far as I know, Bandai Namco had literally an 8-minute showcase with one game.
oh, what was it?
I don't
Didn't
even
even
know.
see.
I was when you go and look at their thing, it was 8 minutes and everybody said it was one game. Let me see what was in the Bandai Namco showcase. It was probably something really stupid.
Well, I see something that's 24 minutes long.
Yeah.
But,
It was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That was the one game, which they announced like 2 years ago. But it's coming to Nintendo Switch now.
That's it?
I think
I
there was
didn't
also
see- I
a
can't
House
even
of
find that.
Ashes presentation or something. The Dark Pictures anthology. That's like the one new thing they're doing. But it was like, aside from the one game they talked about, it was like just a quick little flashy montage of things coming out. They didn't have an actual showcase. But it was being advertised like an event, like everybody else's showcase.
Yeah, but it was 8 minutes. Well, Nintendo had their Direct, which everybody's been waiting for. And I think they won. I think they won E3.
I don't know. Chaos.
In my opinion. Except for Chaos. Chaos might have won E3. Or Jack.
Well,
I don't know,
Jack
it's
will
between
win
Jack
once he
and
takes
Chaos.
out Chaos.
Yeah. He must take out Chaos.
God, like I was saying before that too, it was a meme. I was roasting this game when it first came out, and everybody's been posting memes, especially my friend Stan has been posting a lot of memes. I've been sharing some of them in like the Vomitorium. You should go look. He made this really good video, which is like an old school YouTube AMV, where you like take video game or anime and you make a music video out of it. And he even compressed it. It is compressed like an old one. It is 4:3. At most, it's 480p, but you should really watch it in 240 for the full experience. To Bodies by Drowning Pool, and it's just the trailer from frickin' Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. But it is edited well, right? Like it does when they're doing the countdown and stuff. It does keep flashing back to the other guy and stuff. And it's edited like an actual AMV. It's great. I've watched it like 20 times. Like, man, there's just so much meta about this joke right here, and so much 2002 that I can't not watch it.
Yeah, it was in 4:3 and it was
great.
all low quality. He should have did he put a filter on to make it look like it was on a CRT or something?
Well, no, not on CRT,
Okay.
because he was actually more like 2008, because that's when AMV.
Or like on a VHS?
He did give like an artifacting filter, so to give it that low quality early YouTube vibe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He should have done like a VHS filter.
Yeah, but
that
it's
had,
like totally
lines
SD.
up and up. Yeah. Intentionally.
And now that song is just stuck in my head too because how many times I've watched it. Can't take much more. And it's gonna be stuck in my head for like a week now because I'm probably gonna end up watching it again too.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Timothy. Chaos. I must kill chaos.
It's not a hope or a dream,
We
but a hunger.
just got back from the mall.
Ew.
What's a shopping mall?
Is that all he does? He just screams my name. Dude, I love Garland. Looks so much like Garland though. Like it does. Like we talked about the game yesterday. We're gonna talk about a bunch of other things today, but like that game just went a full like 180 or even a 360. I don't even know how far around in the rotation it went, but it went from me like ragging on this game to now I just like unironically love it. And Stan was talking about it in his stream earlier because he was covering E3, and it's the same way for him. And I probably because he's been memeing on it so much, and you're starting to grow an attachment to this thing. And Square's even embracing the meme. I could actually pull it up if you want. Let me go find the tweet. Yeah. It's on Square's page. I retweeted it, so it's gonna be easy for me to find. But I need to show you. Like, I actually need to pull it up on the stream so everybody knows that I'm not just, like, bullshitting you.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Square Enix.
Square Enix tweeted it themselves, and it's just chaos in all capital letters. Yeah. Like, they're embracing it.
Oh, my God.
Which is what you should do as a company. If somebody starts memeing on your game... Where is this? I pulled it up.
Wait, where's my... Hold on.
I thought I grabbed it. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, if somebody starts memeing on your game, you should embrace it. Turn it into a marketing opportunity. One of my other friends made this meme. If it'll pull up. It's like, do you have any thoughts about chaos? And you can't really see the reply because of the way it's cropped, but he's like, all I have are thoughts about chaos. Oh, perfect song to be playing too.
Oh, did you see? Okay.
I saw you put some memes in there too. In the
yeah, the the Anakin meme, but instead of like actually anything that makes sense, I just put the lines from the game.
Somebody made a Virgin Cloud Chad Jack meme.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Come up, Twitter. Come on.
Yeah.
You can do it. Oh, there it is.
Depressed because his GF died. Only knows one thing: killing chaos. Actually, you know what's a better one too? Because let me kill this. I actually have to pull it up from Discord, or because that's where it is. Stan made a better Virgin meme because Cloud's not really a Virgin character, right? People look at him like he is, but Cloud's actually kind of a Chad character by the end of the game. He goes through like some legitimate PTSD. Noctis though. Noctis is kind of like the Virgin character, and so I'm looking for where he put the meme in. Here we go. Let me get the window capture for this. Yeah, so it's like the Virgin numbered title versus the Chad spinoff, right? The Chad spinoff is just the story of an angry man. And it's all these things. Battle Scar, likely for pursuing Chaos. Chaos is in every single one of his little bits. And then, like, the Virgin numbered titles, like, doesn't even know who his arch nemesis is. Sasuke from Naruto is still calling for his haircut back.
Wait a second. Square Enix USA's Twitter account is protected.
Yeah, because they're basically, they discontinued it, but they're not, they're not posting it anymore, but they're not going to get rid of it because they don't want people taking the handle.
I gotcha.
It was when Square basically went international as a company. Like, the Square Enix one is just global now.
Yeah. I got confused.
Yeah.
Who liked my tweet? Oh, random person.
Chaos! But yeah. Enough about that, though. We talked about that yesterday, even though I'm getting kind of obsessive about it already. Especially because I used to be really obsessive about the original Final Fantasy in particular. But, got news. There was a Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about first?
I don't know. I've got 4 trailers lined up.
Yeah.
That we can play while we're talking about them.
Muted, of course.
Yes. How about, you want to start with Metroid?
Whichever one you want to start with.
It's Metroid and 3 other Zelda things. So, although there is more that I could bring up, but yeah, why don't we start with Metroid and then you can tell me if you want me to. We could do the Shin Megami Tensei one.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for
all right.
SMT5 because it seems like a genuine. Let me pull this up the stream so people can see it.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's live.
Yeah, it's up.
All right. Here it is.
A Metroid.
So yeah, well, we can talk about that next. But yeah, Metroid 5 is the first new story mainline Metroid in 19 years. And Samus looks pretty badass.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the suit, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's white.
Yeah, and it's got, like, the, almost like that veiny musculature stuff in there. So it's still very Varia suit looking, but it almost has, like, aspects of the fusion suit in it.
Yeah. So these things, they're called EMMIs, E-M-M-I. They're indestructible, at least at first. And you just have to run from them. Because if they catch you, it's game over.
Yeah. Which
it's a lot of
hate that type of mechanic in games.
Yeah.
It's not so bad because Metroid is supposed to be like this kind of like isolated, you could die at any moment like feeling to the game.
Mm-hmm. And you do get, you get like a what's it called? You get the ability to turn invisible, basically. That's at one point, so you can hide from it at times. They brought back the Eon from Samus Returns. There's a boss, and you get. It seems like there's certain areas where these EMMIs are active. So once you get out of that area, you're kind of safe again, or it's just got normal enemies after that.
Yeah.
But while you're in that area, it's kind of like a stealth mission kind of thing. You're trying to stay away from it, and if it spots you, you just have to run away.
Yeah. Which it's kind of like a throwback to Zero Mission. Just instead of you not having your suit active and being vulnerable, they give you something that's so destructive that it doesn't matter that you're in your suit.
Right. Right. So I think it looks awesome. You may disagree.
No, I don't think it
But
doesn't look awesome. It's just it's not what I was hoping from a Metroid game. I'm not even talking about because I was hoping for news for Prime 4, even though I knew we weren't getting it. From like a 2D, just the whole thing chasing you and some of the stuff about it. I mean, it'll probably win me over the more I see about it, because they're obviously going to give more information the closer it gets to actually coming out. But it's just it's not really what I was expecting for the follow-up to Fusion, which that's what this really is. It's supposed to be the follow-up to Fusion, which
exactly.
Personally, I know a lot of people, they'll still say Super Metroid's the best one. I think Fusion is the best Metroid game, right? This seems like a follow-up to Samus Returns, because they didn't have that, like you were saying, they couldn't do what they wanted to do back then.
Yeah, like I was telling you, they apparently had plans to make this game right after Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
And they gave up. They scrapped it because they just didn't, I guess, I don't know what aspects of this they wanted to do at the time, but they weren't happy with it, so they scrapped it.
Yeah. And honestly, like I said before, I know that's probably a contentious take, but I think Fusion is a better game than Samus Returns.
I understand that.
Yeah, we're back now, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, I wanted to see, I don't know if they showed it in this. That's kind of why I slowed it down, because I completely missed most of it. But one of the things they vastly improved. Well, see, so they do have the counter.
Yeah.
But see how you can actually do it while you're moving, and it's like a running slice thing, and it killed it. So
I don't know. I'll actually have to play it and feel it to, because it's something that's hard to judge just from looking at it. But I don't like the idea of a counter even being in Metroid. But it might be better. One of the problems that I had with Metroid Returns specifically, right, Samus Returns, is that even though they did do a lot of changes to the game, the counter felt especially busted. Not just because it would like one-shot most things, but it was a counter added to a game that wasn't originally designed around having a counter, right? So this might just be better in general, because this game is being built from the ground up around having this mechanic in it. So like even enemy placements and the type of enemies you'll encounter will be designed with the fact that a counter is in mind. While you could claim that they did some changes to make the counter useful in Samus Returns, but it's still widely the same spawns as the original version of the game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is all new. So this thing, it's kind of like a little mini mother brain, and that gives Samus new weapons. I think that's how you get like a more powerful attack, and the stealth mode, the invisibility.
Yeah.
So it shows, you can, in certain areas, you can hide from the enemies with that. But yeah, they kind of made it certain sections. I don't know if you'd call it like Metal Gear kind of, like stealth, trying not to get detected. And then if you do, you have to run away. But
I don't mind that so much. Like I said, one of the core themes of Metroid is isolation, right? It's kind of like the same type of theme you're hoping to get from like a Resident Evil game, but they've been doing this a lot longer. And like you're in this dark planet core, like you're going deeper and deeper into this planet, and you're all alone. You have no idea what you're going to come up against, and it's just like hostile things trying to kill you all the time. I don't think having these kind of like dangerous stealth missions goes against the spirit of Metroid.
Yeah. Now this one has a lot more from what I saw. So I watched the whole treehouse where they played like the first section of it, and it's got a lot more destructible environments. There's a lot more interactivity where they showed basically like diverting lava from one room to another. Oh, and like you can, like, certain areas have water in them, just like Samus Returns, but you can like destroy walls to make the water drain out.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool. So, you know, they've added a lot more interesting puzzles. Oh, and this thing where she can stick to walls, called Spider something or other. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't know that we're going to get much more information because basically, like I said, they walked through the whole first section.
No, okay. Well, I've only seen the trailers, so I didn't have time to watch the Treehouse Sun and everything. And probably the information I need is there. I've only been on my computer for like a couple hours now, so I've been trying to catch up on as much as I can before we get started.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, I'm excited for it because I'd say Samus Returns is my favorite Metroid so far. So, and this
my favorite Metroid is the original. I just think Fusion's the best one.
Oh, yeah. So that was Metroid Dread, and it's coming out October 8th.
I think. Well, actually, my favorite 2D Metroid is the original. My favorite Metroid is Prime Hunters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there's going to be like a collector's edition that looks pretty cool. That has some stuff from like all 5 of those Metroid games, and there's going to be Amiibo, of course. So
yeah, always going to be Amiibo.
And it's all already sold out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually available for sale yet in most places. But yeah, I might have to get the collector's edition. So, you want to see the Shin Megami Tensei? Can we play the audio? We should be able to play the audio. I mean, people were playing it earlier.
I mean, they can. I don't care if we get strikes or anything. I already have background music and stuff playing normally, and the problem is because this is primarily a podcast. This is supposed to be us talking. This is why I don't like to have the audio playing and stuff.
Oh, all right.
People are going to be listening to this later on. That's the real reason.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So I watched this, but I don't really know much about Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh yeah, dude, I love the series. So, what's funny too is that a lot of people don't even know how the series started, right? Even the people who know about SMT, which is not the core of this franchise's fan base anymore. Persona is the core of this franchise's fan base. But it actually started as a series just called Megami Tensei, right? Mm-hmm. Which basically means like heaven goddess, right? or story of the goddess. And after like so many entries in Megami Tensei, it kind of got rebooted as Shin Megami Tensei, and Shin itself can mean heaven or it can mean true, which is what they're meaning in this case is true. So it's like the true story of the goddess or the true heaven goddess. And it is an RPG series, a very old one. And the nature of Shin Megami Tensei is that you're usually like this protagonist who's going around the world, and there's some type of apocalyptic event going on, and demons are running loose. And what you have to do is you have to fight these demons and capture them to fight for you, almost like a Pokemon style thing. And you can like use a guillotine to fuse the demons together to make stronger demons. And that's Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay, I was watching them play this, and I didn't know what game it was. I was like, oh, that looked really cool. And they had the hair and everything, and they were showing how you can like negotiate with these demons.
Yes.
And you have these conversations with them, and you try and get them to come onto your team.
Yeah, you have options. You can either outright just kill demons for experience, which often is what you have to do for a boss. You can convince the demon to flee if you don't feel like fighting them, or you can convince the demon to join your party.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like having this whole like conversation where
Yeah,
he's
in the
asking
middle
for
of
money.
combat.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And they
it's
were
odd
and,
too, right?
and
You have to
they're
get to know the personality of the demon, because
like, yeah,
sometimes the thing that seems like, oh, it's asking you for money, I should give it money and it'll join me. But then, based on the personality, if you give it money, you might insult it, and then it starts attacking you even harder.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. They were showing one where they were like, "Well, I could give it money, but it, it was some kind of weird looking demon." And they were like, "But I don't know if that'll work." But they tried it, and he was like, "Oh, now he's asking for more money."
Yeah.
And he just kept asking for more and more, and it wouldn't join him. And then he did something. I think he fought with it for a minute, and then he talked to it again, and then it joined him.
Yeah,
So
like some
it's
demons
like,
you need to not give in to whatever they want, because you need to earn their respect.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was watching it, and I was like, "What is this game that they're playing?" I forgot. I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
this.
no, dude, SMT is great. Honestly, it's better than the Persona spin-off franchise, but that's what's become more popular. Because the first Persona was Shin Megami Tensei Persona. Then it was Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2. And then by, like, Persona 3, they just dropped the SMT from the title. So now they're just like Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. But they're still part of the SMT series. The last one that I played was the last one was released. It was a 3DS only game, as far as I know. And that was Shin Megami Tensei 4. And it was still just as hard as ever. These are not easy RPGs, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when you open up a video, you can always just right-click it and check loop, and it'll just keep playing until you leave the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I figured I'd just play it a couple of times when we're talking about it.
Yeah. But they're not easy games.
Mm-hmm.
They're the type of RPG where you can spend 10 hours grinding, and something slightly lower level than you can still crit and kill you.
Yeah.
So it's a game that punishes you for spending too much time grinding, but it still rewards you because you do need to grind away to get enough of the lower demons to splice together to make the higher demons. Because all the demons are made by mixing two together, like a fusion technique. But then you have to get, like, multiple of the mid-levels, so you can have two mid-levels to fuse together. But to get those two mid-levels, you have to start fusing a bunch of smaller, lower-level ones together, and so on and so forth. So you do have to grind. You have to learn strategy. You have to learn the personalities of the demons. It's not your baby's first RPG, but it's very rewarding to play.
Cool. It does look like something I might be interested in.
Yeah. Well, if you're interested in it, there's an SMT that's out right now. They just remastered Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne on the Switch, and it's available. And that's actually, in most people's opinion, and I'd have to agree, it's probably the best game in the whole franchise. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is actually one of the only games X-Play, or only RPG X-Play ever gave a 10 out of 10. Or a 5 out of 5, whatever their thing is, a perfect score. It's the only thing they ever gave a perfect score of an RPG.
Wow. I like the hair, too. Look at that hair. Almost down to the ground.
It's interesting that we have, is that I think that's a female protagonist. It's hard to tell.
Looks like it.
Because usually the protagonists of SMT guys, so it'd be pretty interesting if we have a female one this time.
Well,
but he could be a guy. I know, it's got a little lump in the chest, but it could just be like a femboy. You know, it's hard to tell.
I know.
Games, right?
If it's a woman, she's quite flat.
Yeah. But, like, that's the problem, right? It's Japan. So if it's a woman, probably going to be quite flat. Unless it's that type of game where they're doing things that are super over-proportioned. If it's a guy, it's probably going to be less masculine than you expect from Western games.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a girl, because it showed her earlier.
Yeah.
And she has shorter hair. Yeah. Tyrant Beelzebub. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's funny that Fairy Jack Frost.
What was the game a
It's
few
funny that
weeks
I was.
ago we were saying about getting the three of us to play together? I'm trying to remember. Was it Stardew? I know we were talking about Stardew. I don't know if that's what we
Oh,
were talking
yeah,
about then.
we
Stardew
talked
Valley.
about Stardew Valley, and we talked about that one. Was it Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles?
Oh yeah, Crystal
That's gotta
Chronicles
be.
is fun because you could get that on any system. Like he could get that on Steam, and he could still play with us
Mm.
on Switch.
Oh, cool. Who are we talking about?
What do
You
you mean?
said he.
Cross.
Did he?
Rick was
Oh,
the one who's
Rick
gonna
wants
watch
to
it.
play. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this one's coming out November. What did it say? November 12th.
Yes, it's this year, or else they
So
would have put a year at the end of it. And
that's
I
right.
am excited. Shin Megami Tensei is one of the best RPG series, and it is very slept on.
Well, it says pre-orders for physical version begin June 21st.
Yeah, and normally I'm against pre-ordering because pre-ordering is just a really bad habit for the industry, and it usually leads to bad products. But I think this game is going to be good. So if people are interested in pre-order, you don't feel bad about pre-ordering this one. And I don't think they're going to rip you off. I pre-ordered 4. You know what I got with it? It's collector's edition. This small little box that came with a the soundtrack of the game and an art book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it was all small, right? Like it fit
Yeah.
in the same size as a 3DS case. It was just like extra wide to fit the other things.
Cool, cool. Yeah, the one thing they didn't say anything about pre-orders for the Metroid Dread collector's edition. It is going to have a collector's edition, but they didn't say when it will be on sale. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. So yeah, that looked pretty cool to me. Then there was a bunch of other stuff, and then Zelda.
Yeah.
So do you want to watch it? You want to see what they had to say about Zelda?
Yeah, we can. There was also a Smash announcement too. That was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
out of left field. Nobody expected that one.
Yeah. Well, let's come back to that.
Yeah, we can.
This will be a short one. This is really just the Age of Calamity expansion pass.
Yeah, which I have like literally no interest in.
Yeah, honestly, I love Age of Calamity. I wasn't. It's not that big of a deal. So basically, they're making, for some reason, the Guardian is now playable.
Yeah.
Link has like these Guardian arm things.
That turns him into Kratos.
As a new weapon. Yeah, I guess. That looks kind of cool. And then I don't know what's happening there. That's weird.
Yes, Rick, Stardew Valley is on Steam.
And Zelda gets the Master Cycle 0. So that's pretty much it. Pulse of the Ancients, available June 18. So you were saying people were talking about Zelda being playable.
Yeah, they probably just saw this and they were confused.
Yeah. So Flail for Link, Master Cycle for Zelda, a new difficulty level, Apocalyptic. Some other stuff they didn't go into. Higher ranking Wizards, Giant Choo-Choo.
So, like, I started playing a little bit of Hyrule Warriors when I was at the hospital with my mom because she has it on her Switch, and I forgot mine at home. And
this one is, or the original?
The not the original one, Age of Calamity. Right, I've played the original one. I liked the original one. I like this less than the original one. Right, and here's why. The original Hyrule Warriors is less of a Zelda game, and pretty much just like a full-on Mosu game, right? Full-on like Warriors game that just has Zelda stuff in it. This game tries to be more like a Zelda game. It's got more Zelda stuff in there. It tries to be more like Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. And to me, I think that's actually what hurts the game. I really like Zelda games. I really like Mosu games. I don't think they quite blend together when you're not doing fully one or the other. They're not like
Yeah,
Reese's.
yeah.
They're not a good mix of chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, it's not quite as satisfying in this one to like when you win forts or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Sort of this, like in the original Age of Calamity, there were always square areas, and
Yeah.
when you took one over a fort, it it would kind of help you in your overall battle, and it I don't know, it just was it's a bit better defined exactly what your objective was overall. You had to capture these forts throughout the map.
Yeah.
This one is more just Zelda stuff. You're trying to defeat a guardian, or you're trying to whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like the charm of doing it in a Zelda way, right? Like one of the reasons why there are always a lot less enemies in Zelda games is because Zelda is supposed to be more of like a strategic, methodical game of like, okay, there might be 5 enemies at most, but usually it's closer to a one-on-one encounter. And I'm looking at this guy, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way of taking this dude out. Where's his weak spot?
Trying to dodge. And,
yeah.
And the flurry rush and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, in this game, Age of Calamity, all the other minor enemies, you almost just ignore them all.
Yeah.
Because you're just concentrating on one major enemy that has a weak point.
Well, everything does AoE because it's a Mosu game, so you're probably going to end up hitting enough of the minor ones in the process of hitting the big one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But, I like it. But, I have to admit, I played the hell out of Hyrule Warriors, and I owned all 3 versions. Yeah. So I loved it.
Yeah,
this one, I
think it's great. Because it's not trying to be a Zelda game. It's just a full-on Mosu game, but with Zelda characters.
Yeah. This one, I have to admit, I've gotten kind of to the end, and I can go back. There's more that you can do, but I haven't. Once I got to the end of the story. Once I got to the end of the story, I was like, all right, I've had enough,
Yeah.
But, I did buy the expansion pass or whatever. So I guess I'll try it after it comes out. But anyway, what was the other Danganronpa?
Danganronpa. I've told you about that game before.
Oh, I know. I have it.
Yeah.
I have it. A new. It's coming to the Switch or some new version or something. But we were talking about you wanted to talk about something else.
Oh, Smash Brothers. There was a Smash Brothers.
Oh,
yeah. They haven't done it. They're going to have like their own Smash Direct on it. They always do. Because it's going to be more than just the character they release info on. There'll be like Mii costumes and all the stuff. And they'll also have a breakdown of the character's moves. But they announced Kazuya from Tekken. Which, that one is way out of left field. I'm happy. I'm glad they picked it. But absolutely nobody expected a Tekken character to ever make it into Smash. Like, even more so than, say, Street Fighter or Fatal Fury / King of Fighters, while a popular game, was still more of an obscure choice for Nintendo, right? Mm-hmm. This one, even more so.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool because, in my opinion, those 3 games are the biggest representation of fighting games that there are. So we've got like the 3 biggest reps of just fighting games in Smash now.
Tekken, Street Fighter, and what was the other one?
Tekken, Street Fighter, and technically King of Fighters. A lot of people will say Mortal Kombat, but Mortal Kombat really hasn't been that big of a rep for fighting games in years. It used to be back when like the genre was really new. But it kind of lost out in popularity around, I'm going to say Mortal Kombat 4 or 5. It was no longer one of like the top dogs.
Yeah. And then he turns into Illidan from Warcraft. What's up with that?
Well, if you played Tekken, you know a lot of people have a lot of like Oni and Demon related forms to them. And that would make a lot more sense to people who are wrapped up in Tekken.
Oh, I see. I was watching it and I was like, wait a minute, that's Illidan. That's what he looks like when he turns into that thing. This will be your burial ground.
Now, I'm also
Yeah, that's cool.
very confused why they picked Kazuya of all characters from Tekken. You'd think Jin, who was like widely considered the main character of Tekken, or even possibly Heihachi, who is like the most known character from Tekken. But Kazuya. Okay, I mean, I'm fine with that. It's an odd choice.
Yeah, why do you think?
I think maybe it's because they need some more not so good guys in the game. There's not enough like villains and anti-heroes and stuff like that. Especially because like they added Sephiroth, but aside from him, I think all the DLC characters have technically been good guys. All the Fighter Pass characters. There's Piranha Plant, but people often forget that Piranha Plant wasn't a Fighter Pass character. He was a free reward DLC for people who supported the game within like its launch cycle or the first half year that it was out. And then anybody who wants it after that can just buy it because they're not going to punish you for not getting the game early. But he was Piranha Plant's not a Fighter Pass character.
Right. Actually, like when they first started announcing like these new characters for Smash Brothers, I didn't realize that there was like that they were going to be announcing new Smash characters for just years to come. I had no
we're
idea.
the second Fighter Pass.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
It was just going to be ongoing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right now, we don't know if there's going to be a 3. They've kind of hinted that there probably isn't going to be, but they've also left it open like a wink, wink. We might do more. But if we count Fighter Pass 1 and 2 and Piranha Plant together, there will have been 12 DLC characters once they're done with Pass 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Mr. Sakurai is going to be doing a demo of Kazuya on June 28th.
Masahiro Sakurai. The creator of Kirby.
I guess that's why you let Kirby survive in this trailer.
Well, yeah, but Kirby is... Here's the thing about Smash Brothers, right? And Sakurai's even aware of this himself, and he's even said many times that the characters have to have different scaling in Smash Brothers, not just for gameplay, but also in the story, because the story wouldn't be interesting otherwise. Because he is actually aware of how strong most of these characters are. And I'm not talking about, like, Cross brought up, did you watch Link versus Cloud Death Battle? No, I have not. I thought it was this Wednesday, because they used to do Death Battles on Wednesdays. I don't know the schedules anymore, because I don't really watch it unless somebody specifically asks me to watch it to break down what they got wrong. But unlike that, like, Sakurai actually knows how strong these characters are. He's a fan of most of the characters that end up in the game. That's why he adds them if he can. Sometimes he adds them because he kind of has to. He's, like, persuaded that it would be good to add in. But for the most part, like, he's a fan of this stuff. And he knows, like, a character like Cloud, or Sephiroth, or Kirby, or some of these other ones, maybe even Palutena. These guys would just kill most of the roster if they got into a fight with them, right? Like Kazuya here, based on some of the stuff, he might be a city blockbuster, right? Like, he's kind of between street level, and I could probably topple a building if I hit it hard enough, right?
Yeah.
While Kirby could destroy a planet, or even maybe even a star if he punched it hard enough, right? But you can't treat the game like this because it's a fun party game with a bunch of characters from all over. Where it's like, yeah, sure, Cloud or Sephiroth could probably kill everyone in the game. But what fun would that be?
Right. You have to, it has to be balanced.
A Game & Watch is literally 2D. What could he do to anybody? He's on a different dimensional plane.
That's right. So speaking of Game & Watch...
Did we get a Game & Watch announcement?
You ready for that? Yes, we did.
A Zelda thing. Follow up like the Mario one.
Oh, Yeah, Zelda Game and Watch.
I like that.
So they announced this. It's going to include Zelda 1, Adventure of Link, which is kind of pretty cool.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
includes Adventure. Link's Awakening, the original, not even the DX version.
Oh, nice.
The original
Well, 'cause
Black and White.
they have to go DX version. I like this. They actually have some Game & Watch games in there too. Just Zelda themed.
Yeah. Some sort
I'd
of
be
Zelda
upset if they
themed
didn't.
Game and Watch.
Um,
Yeah.
but okay, I know why they're doing the original. One, they haven't re-released the original ever. Right? It's always DX. But if they want that original aesthetic of the Game Boy, they basically have to do the original because DX was color coded for if you played it on a Super Game Boy or then later on the Game Boy Color.
Right. If they did DX, it would have to be in color.
Yeah. So you could tell that they want the original aesthetic of Link's Awakening.
I guess so.
But it's
Which,
cool.
you know, the
never
DX version
released the original version ever.
Yeah. And I mean, DX added color, obviously, which is nice. But then it added one dungeon that's just not even really necessary.
And
So
pictures. But if you don't have a Game Boy printer, it doesn't really matter for you anyway.
Yeah, forgot about the pictures. But yeah, I didn't get the Mario one, probably because I was poor and homeless at the time. But
this one,
I might get this.
I might get
this. Exactly. I'm not all that interested in Mario anyway, so.
Yeah, I really like
think
Mario, but as a series, like, it was one of my top 3. Like, it's like right there in the I can't decide which series I like better of them.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I'm excited about Adventure of Link.
Yeah.
Like, have they really? I guess you can play. I mean, I can play that on my Switch, but it's just cool that they included that. Like, they're
Yeah, I mean,
I think
they've re-released that game a lot of times. Like, it's been on virtual consoles and stuff like that. It's easily accessible, but it is cool that it's in there because a lot of people just don't play it. So, like, people just don't go out of their way to play this game. They hear it's so bad, even though it's not. Like, it has a really bad reputation for no reason. And if they already buy... Oh, excuse me, I'm gassy. If they already buy this thing, well, it's like, well, it's on there. I might as well play it. I feel like more people played it on the Switch just because they already have the NES Online that it's like, oh, it's there. I might as well try it.
Yeah. Slackinator on Twitch, one of my favorite Twitch streamers, is trying to do a damageless run.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, he's never gonna. I don't know if he's ever gonna actually get through an entire.
The oddest announcement in E3, which was the you can get plumbers don't wear ties on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god, no! Seriously, from the the 3. What was it? What console was that on originally?
I don't remember what it was on, but it's such an old game, and it was one of those like AVGN like heavily blasted games. But yeah, it's available.
I think it was on Sega CD. I think that's what it was. Either that or like 3DO or something like that. Some crazy. No, I did not hear about that.
Yep,
That's crazy. Yep. So, did they say? Oh, and then these timer things. These are playable.
Yeah, it was 3DO.
Like, I don't know.
I just got it. Yeah.
Oh, it's 3DO.
Okay. 3DO and Microsoft Windows.
Oh my god.
There's a PC version of the game.
That's terrible. I can't even believe that. That's like such a non-PC game. Like the woman running around in underwear. Yes.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Also available November 12th.
Yeah.
Same day as Shin Megami Tensei,
well,
right?
You know Nintendo's policy. You can basically put anything on the shop as long as it is properly rated and doesn't break a law.
Apparently. Yeah. They have a game with hentai in the name.
Yes, but it's properly rated.
That's right. It's rated M for mature.
And this is
All
why
right, are you ready for
Nintendo's
the
kicking
big tamale?
everyone's asses. The big tamale, Breath of the Wild 2,
Yeah.
which I properly called was not coming out this year.
Yeah. Did you watch this already?
No, I
This
saw
trailer?
like screenshots and read. Of the trailers I watched, I didn't have time to get to this one. That's why I said like all I saw was people were saying Zelda was playable, but they were probably just mistaking the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity trailer.
So, yeah, right at the beginning. So here,
yeah, she
falls down a pit.
Yeah,
and I think she's gone for the whole game. That's what it seemed to imply.
Are we
She's
actually
gone,
going
and you're
underground
late.
though? Because there was like this heavily like Zelda 2 underground inspiration.
In the first trailer, yes, but now this one's more of like Skyloft. So
this
there's
looks like
all
freaking
these.
Kid Icarus. Look at that outfit he's wearing.
Yeah, I know, and that shield is different. Now check this out. I'll play it again in slow mo. I'll just let you watch the whole.
Oh no, it's fine. I don't need to see slow motion. I'm good at picking things up.
I feel like there's definitely aspects, and look, he goes straight through the wall or through the floor. There's definitely aspects of Skyward Sword going on here, which is weird.
You know, it'd be cool if there is actually an underground theme, and you're doing both. Like this is a mix between Skyward and Zelda 2, and it is like Kid Icarus. It's Skyward and Underworld, but there's also the Overworld, and it's like 3 different layers. You have Underworld, Overworld, Skyward, and that would be fun. I'd be hyped for that. Yeah.
That's what it looks like, because you know the castle raises up, and presumably there's a labyrinth underneath.
Yeah.
But the big sort of reveal that nobody knew about, or maybe nobody even guessed. Let me slow it down just a little bit. Is that it's got this Skyward Sword aesthetic of these floating islands that you can,
which we actually do get fairly early, earlier than Skyward Sword, even though chronologically that would be the first time it happens. Because you even get stuff like that even as early as Twilight Princess, with that one dungeon that's floating in the sky and stuff like. It's not a abnormal theme for Zelda.
But yeah, look at that. He looks like he looks like a Greek. Like I don't know. He looks like Kid Icarus, like you said.
But it did go full force with Skyward Sword, but you needed the bird, and this looks like it's going to be mostly him doing it with his paraglider and stuff like that.
People were saying, "Oh, is there going to be a loft wing?" And I was like, I don't see one in the trailer, so I
don't see why not late game. Like, you know, you can get horses. Why not tame one later on, right?
Yeah. So look at these bokoblins have the long horns, and this base of theirs is on top of a stone talus.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
So what it seems like, because it already looked like Zelda was going vertical in Breath of the Wild, but it barely was, right? The combat and exploration was still mostly within the realm of a 2D plane. You were just climbing up, and everything warped around it, but like you still could only go down for the most part. You couldn't like raise back up. This looks like it's actually taking the game. It's like, what do we already have? We have this exploration in the world. Now let's add layers to it. Let's actually add a vertical element to this game where the engine is already set up to handle a vertical element.
Yeah. And he's got some kind of flamethrower at that part of his arm, that magical arm, or a shield.
Yeah, because he's holding it like it's on a shield. Right? See, like it's mounted.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. And I don't know what he's fighting there. Now that part confused me right here. Where the water goes, like, is there going to be some sort of time element?
Maybe. I mean, you're probably getting more runes for your Sheikah Slate. Like, that's probably how he ends up going up through there, because that looks like a magic ability. It's liquefying.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and here's another thing people were guessing. These things look a little like the time stones in Skyward Sword. And people were wondering, especially with this scene, because it looks like the way in Skyward Sword you'd flip these time stones and like you'd go to a different era, and they're wondering like, is this like going off into a different era or something? I don't know. There might be some sort of time travel involved.
Yeah, because this game's already oddly connected to a lot of the timeline. I honestly think it's could still be a convergence. I don't know if this is in any single timeline. It could just be the last game that's been made so far, and it's after the timelines have collapsed together for some reason, which might have been caused by the initial calamity, for all we know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to try and tie it in directly to any previous one, but I just wonder if, like in Skyward Sword, where you've got this past and present thing.
Yeah,
it's not related to any game.
Well, what I'm saying is, this game already has direct references to previous games, but the direct references that are in there are to games that are before the timeline split, right? Like, there are the ancient ruins of Lon Lon Ranch are just about in the same area that they would be to the market town. You also have the statue, the goddess Hylia, that was in Skyward Sword, is buried in the ground in that trench, right?
Yeah. Well, the Forgotten Temple looks basically like the what was it called? The grounds where Demise is. I forget what it's called. The Sacred Grounds or whatever it's called in Skyward Sword.
It's pretty much that area. It's just been, due to terrain shifting, it's been buried underground over eons.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It's like they've given us a lot more now, but there's still so many questions.
Well, we still have until next year. So.
It looks awesome. yeah, but it looks freaking awesome. I can't wait.
Did they give us an exact date or like a month or whatever?
No. No, it could be December of 2022 for all.
Yeah, I'm still hoping my gut was initially right. I'm aiming for late spring of next year.
Yeah, a lot of people have guessed that. I hope that's true.
Because that's what I was saying before they even showed this at E3. I was telling you, it's like, I think it's probably spring, probably late spring.
Yeah. I mean, look at the castle rising up with the malice all around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited. I thought Nintendo had a great E3 overall.
Honestly, it's a little underwhelming to me. Good announcements. It looks really good because E3 in general is underwhelming, and it is pretty par for the course, and everybody else isn't. But this has not been like super spectacular like some of their previous E3s have been.
Yeah, I was saying before, I thought their 2019 here. Let me turn it off so you can switch back to us.
I thought their 2017 has probably been their best one in a long time.
Yeah, and the 2019 one was the one where they announced Breath of the Wild 2 in the first place. But,
that was the big problem too. Is like we got games. I think, was that also when they announced Metroid Prime 4, or was that 2018? They're one of the years they announced games that we knew we weren't getting for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And that was like the most disappointing. It's like, Nintendo, you're the one company that usually doesn't do this. You usually don't announce games that aren't going to come out within the time that there's another E3.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well. Well, yeah, so that is one thing, is that hopefully it'll come out before the next E3.
Yeah. Because they usually don't do that. That's another reason why I'm like going spring. I think if they... And that's why spring was my gut initially, before we got all this reveal. And like, if they do show a trailer, it's probably just to reaffirm you because it's coming out before the next E3.
Yeah. Well, cool. So that was the Nintendo E3 presentation in a nutshell.
Yep. I do think the real winner so far is still Chaos.
Chaos! Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone put
I'm gonna
chaos.
cosplay Jack, and nobody can stop me. I mean, I'm already not that far off. Like, Jack and I have similar, just normal looks.
Yeah.
So
You
like,
probably have that shirt in your closet right now.
maybe I'd have to go digging through things. I probably have something very, very similar to it. The boots are probably the only. I don't know a pair of boots. I haven't in a while. That's probably like what I'm missing. And I'm also like a $20 trip away from Home Depot to get some like PVC for the base, some insulation foam, and some tape to make the sword. But I could probably make that sword in like a single weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Chaos.
Chaos!
Well,
I must destroy chaos.
it's time for us to go destroy
it
chaos, I think.
It is. So, thank you for watching or listening to the Vomitorium, whenever live, in the future, who cares? As long as you're giving us the attention, that's all we care about. Because I am pretty egotistical. If you enjoy the show, please share it with somebody else who might enjoy it. And if you really like it, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitorium live. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.